There's currently a plane flying around the entire world that isn't using any fuel. It's called Solar Impulse 2, and I was lucky enough to get to meet the team after they landed in New York City. And this is their story.
I am Bertrand Piccard. I'm the initiator and the chairman and pilot of Solar Impulse. And this airplane you have behind in the Hangar 19 of Kennedy Airport in New York is a demonstration of what we can do with clean technologies. It's a way to show that renewable energies and energy efficiency can achieve the impossible. And that's what we try to do with André Borschberg, my friend and partner, and all our team.
And he's not kidding. The Solar Impulse team has truly achieved the impossible, creating a solar airplane that doesn't use any fuel and can fly both day and night. So understandably, the plane is anything but ordinary. See, its wingspan is wider than a Boeing jumbo jet, yet it weighs the same as the average car. And it travels the speed of an average car too, about 75 kilometers per hour. And even more, the pilots display an incredible amount of endurance because the cockpit is both unpressurized and unheated. But as the team says, Solar Impulse was not meant to carry many passengers, but rather carry a message. But how does it all work? How is it possible that this plane is able to fly both day and night? Well, the magic lies in the solar cells that are lining the plane's wings and stabilizers.
The trick was to choose the solar cells properly for Solar Impulse, because if you choose very efficient solar cells, they are much too heavy. And the solar cells we are using on the wing of the aircraft has to have some structural property, because it's actually the upper surface of the wing, and the airflows generates lift, so the solar cells must stand the lift as well.
See, solar cells are able to convert photons from the sun into an electric current. Essentially, a solar cell can be broken into two different parts: a positive side and a negative side. And when an electron is released after a photon strikes the cell, that electrical imbalance allows for an electric current to flow, which provides the rest of the plane with electricity and charges the plane's batteries. And this happens whenever the plane's solar cells are exposed to light.
I like to take the example of a bath that you would fill up with water and that you would at the same time open the siphon to empty it. And so the bath itself is the battery. The water that you drop into the bath is the sun energy, and the water that you take from the bath is the energy you use for the electrical engines. And so all the thing is to have always water in the bath and to end up at the end of the day with a full bath to be able to do all the night. And in the morning you end up with a bath almost empty, but that's no factor anymore because you got sun again and you can refill the bath.
And in the best case scenario, the solar cells can provide the plane with enough energy to allow for perpetual flight. But of course, to make sure that everything is all right with the plane, both before and after any flight, there are a lot of different tests and inspections that need to get done. And collectively, these usually last up to 5 hours.
Before each flight, we do 2 inspections. We do a bigger one 24 hours before flight. And then just before flight we do another one just to check if there was some changes or if we have some new dirt on the solar cells, or if something happened during the time in the hangar. Right after the landing we do another small inspection where we just more or less check if there is some water in the wing, if there is some tears in the fabric, or if we got some damage on the leading edges, propellers, and perhaps landing gear.
And on top of all that, there's also a team running simulations to plan out the plane's path during its flight so that it can avoid any bad weather and continue on its round-the-world journey. So over a decade since its initial idea, Solar Impulse is now accomplishing its goal of traveling around the world using only clean energy. And that brings us to the main takeaway that the team wants to get across.
For a very long time, the protection of the environment was boring and expensive, and it was threatening the lifestyle of the people, reducing mobility, growth, and economical development. And this will not work. People won't follow something like that. At the same time, we couldn't continue the same way with industry and pollution because quality of life would be horrible in the future. So we have today clean technologies that allow to reconcile ecology and economy. You can now, with the new modern clean technologies, divide by 2 the energy consumption. Thanks to energy efficiency, you divide by 2 the CO2 emissions, and at the same time, you create jobs, you make profit, you stimulate economical development. And today, maybe for the first time, you don't need to be ecological as long as you are logical.
So what do you guys think about this? Did you ever think that a round-the-world solar flight was possible? Let me know in the comments down below, and I want to give a huge thank you to the Solar Impulse team. Thanks so much for letting me come visit and learn more about the plane, and if you guys want to learn more about them, I will include a lot of links in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Check out my others down below, and make sure to check out Solar Impulse as well.